We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
I wanted a big university experience.
Without the big university price.
That's why I chose Iowa Central.
What makes Iowa Central so different than other community colleges is its size.
Big campus, lots of programs, athletics, and performing arts.
I live right here on campus.
And the teachers know me by name.
I'll be career ready in 2 years.
And all my credits transfer to a university.
It's a big time experience.
Without the big time price.
Come see it for yourself.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus, special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
For the visiting team on the scoreboard from Charles City. Number 1, Brooke Vance. Number 6, Danny Reed. Number 7, Delaney Rosica. Number 11, Ava Ella. And number 13, Emma Grimm. Coaches for the Commons, Dana Sullivan and Katie Corporal. And now the starting lineup for Charles City, leading off, number 9, second baseman, Elizabeth Pfizer. Batting second, number 5, center fielder, Lydia Stout. Batting third, number 4, shortstop, Rachel Chambers. Batting fourth, number 17, catcher, Ashlyn Hayes. Batting fifth, number 16, third baseman, Allie Croft. Batting sixth, number 10, left fielder, Alex Litterer. Batting seventh, number 8, right fielder, Kitty Connell. Batting eighth, number 2, and in the circle, Sammy Heyer. And batting ninth, number 15, first baseman, Sadie Gable. The head coach of the Charles City Comets is Brian Boland. And now for the non-starters for the home team on the scoreboard from North Scott. Number 5, Drew Lewis. Number 15, Paige Westland. Number 17, Emma Sandnock. Number 18, Kylie Westland. And number 22, Kaylee Girardi. Assistant coaches for North Scott, Kelly Eiler, Christy Haynes, and Stephanie Baldwin. And now the starters for the Lancers, leading off number 21, shortstop, Taylor Robertson. Batting second, number 9, center fielder, Burton Kilgore. Batting third, number 11, catcher, Rachel Anderson. Batting fourth, number 2, left fielder, Sam Lee. Batting fifth, number 19, and in the circle, Ryan Cheek. Batting sixth, number 12, designated player, Ashlyn Shannon. Batting seventh, number 1, right fielder, Abby Moeller. Batting eighth, number 3, third third baseman, Alexis Beadle. Batting ninth, number 8, second baseman, Kate Hayes. And in the flex position, number 6, first baseman, Kinsey Newman. The head coach of the North Scott Lancers, Holly Holtby. Ladies and gentlemen, our umpires for tonight's contest are at first base, Richard Seaford. At third base, Bill Creek. And calling balls and strikes, Dirk Sorensen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's play some state tournament semi-finals football.
And good evening. Welcome to the 2019 Girls State Softball Tournament from Iowa Central Field here. It is another semifinal with North Scott coming in with a record of 27-14 against Charles City at 36-3. I'm Lance Reno. We'll be joined by Laura Leonard shortly as we'll bring you this semifinal. If it's like the one that just completed, Carlisle with a walk-off two-run homer in the bottom of the 8th inning. They advanced to the championship game on Friday with a 7-6 win over West Delaware. You're watching the girls softball tournament today on the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's digital network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. And you've heard the voices of several of different people bringing you the action, the highlights, and a whole lot more. Carlisle won their opening game 10-1 over Denison Schleswig, and West Delaware won 8-2, and then Carlisle wins 7-6 over West Delaware. West Delaware will now play in the third-place game. North Scott started off with an 8-inning, 3-2 win yesterday over Oskaloosa. Oskaloosa had taken a 2-0 lead in the top of the first inning, but North Scott able to withstand, got an excellent pitching performance in relief. Charles City advanced with a 4-3 win over Dallas Center Grimes, one of the favorites to come in. So right now, as we look at it here, you've got the number 1 seed waiting for either number 3 or number 4 as far as the final poll was concerned. North Scott rated number 2 in the seeding, and Charles City number 3. So we could have a pretty good game going here. We welcome you to our broadcast presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. The first pitch is just seconds away as we've already had the starting lineups for you. So we'll continue here as and it'll be Semi Higher on the mound for North Scott. Ryan Cheek gets the call. Charles City's order, Elizabeth Pfizer, the second baseman, will lead it off here. Top of the first inning. Game time temperature, very comfortable temperatures. It has been all day, 81 degrees. I don't know if I can take that heat. Here's the pitch, up and away. So the first pitch of the ball game, not in the strike zone. Lydia Stout and Rachel Chambers will follow for Charles City. Long time of power in Northeast Iowa in Iowa Girls High School Softball. Here's the wind from the lefty, and it's a swing and a miss. Ryan Cheek twirling from the port side. As we have top of the first inning in front of us here. Cheek comes in, she's a sophomore, 11-5 record. Pretty good stuff. We're seeing more and more left-handed pitchers in girls softball now. Used to be they played first base, but some of the young ladies, and part of that's a result of lower level programs, travel teams, etc. Here's the pitch. It'll be out of play down the third base line. If you're not familiar with Iowa Central Field, it's 200 feet all the way around. So it is the same distance. And the walk-off home run by the young lady from Carlisle out there by the scoreboard in left field. It's painted green, so you can't miss it. Could be John Deere green, could be St. Edmunds green, but it's green. Here's the pitch. Up around the letters, took a little off. Ryan Cheek gets her first strikeout as Pfizer goes down swinging. Lydia Stout steps in now for Charles City. She is a freshman center fielder, batting at .541. Unbelievable, a .606 batting average in the game a couple games ago. Here's the pitch. Did she go? No, she didn't. She pulled it back. Her stat line shows 66 hits in 122 at-bats. It is a strike. I thought it was. Waited for the official call there on the appeal. 53 runs, 38 RBIs in that key number 2 slot in the order. The wind and the pitch will be foul. Pop the bunt off to the left. A little bit of a breeze, and it's coming down from the south. And I think it's our producer who brings the breeze. He wasn't here and there was no breeze. He comes back and we got breeze. We'll take it. We'll take the weather in general. It's been nice all across Iowa. Normally it's hot and humid during the girls' tournament run. Here's your 0-2 delivery. Down on strikes. Lydia Stout comes out number 2. Good start here for Ryan Sheik on the pitching slate. To the plate now comes Rachel Chambers. Chambers is a freshman shortstop, batting at .487. 56 hits, 115 plate appearances. So you know she puts the ball in play. Ashlyn Haft waits in the on-deck circle. Good attendance today. I would say that just based upon what I've seen, the attendance is higher than it was yesterday. Here's the next pitch, a swing and a miss. First 2 batters have struck out so far here for Ryan Cheek as Charles City trying to get something going, top of the first inning. Cheek looks into Anderson for the sign, the wind, the pitch. Strike called, caught the knees. Rachel Chambers, right-handed hitter, the shortstop. The pitch on the outside corner, called strike 3. And that'll do it in the top of the first inning here for Charles City. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. We go to the bottom of the first, and North Scott coming to the plate.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
I am smart.
I am smart.
I am smart.
I am kind.
Kind.
I am kind.
I am strong.
Strong.
Strong. I am important.
I am important.
I am important.
I am the Iowa girl.
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 I am the Iowa girl. I am the Iowa girl.
Welcome you. Good evening. I'm Lance Reno alongside Laura Leonard, and we're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau and the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. Laura, quite a first inning, a way to start as far as North Scott is concerned. They had to come from behind to defeat Oskaloosa in 8 innings, and it was a 2-0 game till the 7th inning.
You know, and sometimes you get to the state tournament and you have a few jitters and things don't go your way, and then all of a sudden a play or something to snap you back into reality and you get things going, and I think that's kind of what happened.
Here's the first pitch to Taylor Robertson, shortstop, leading it off for North Scott. Holly Hoteling is the coach. She's down at third base. Probably the nicest weather conditions right now. Here's a chopper down the first base line. Good reactions by Gable, the first baseman. That ball, Laura, could easily have shot past her.
It took a funny hop, but she stayed with it, didn't panic at all, and able to run it down and win the foot race to first base.
Brooke Kilborg stands in now for North Scott. She hits at .342, right-handed batter. She likes that front foot almost out of the batter's box up front. Very open stance. The pitch is called a strike. Rachel Anderson will try to follow here. Unbelievable, that walk-off home run for Carlisle to move to the finals.
I'm telling you what, it doesn't get any better than that. And I know this is kind of corny, but I always get a little tear in my eye when that happens because it's just so exciting. You feel so great for the player that hit it, and then you feel badly for the team that was ahead, and they lost it all in one swing. And so it was quite a dramatic moment, and Carlisle wins that one to move on to the championship.
Kilborg has taken 2 consecutive pitches out of the strike zone for a 2-1 count. It was interesting to watch the teammates come out and swarm. That's the joy of victory and the agony of defeat, as ABC's Wide World of Sports used to say.
That's right. I think we're probably dating ourselves because we know the Wide World of Sports, and I think it was Kurt Gowdy or Chris Schenkel. Which one of them?
Both of them were on there.
Okay, there you go.
You can look it up on YouTube or Google it. There
Google
you go.
it, one of those
for
things.
Today's generation. Here's the pitch. Looped over. Oh! Outstanding catch by the shortstop, Chambers. That was a line shot that was beginning to loop and looked like Laura was going to loop over her head.
That is one heck of a play by Chambers out there at short. And she jumps at the exact right time, catches the ball at the height of her jump, and pulls it in. And she was just as excited and maybe surprised as everybody else on the field.
You got to say now, you can't say a lot of white. You got to say fluorescent yellow showing in that glove.
Right.
Here's the first pitch. Popped up, playable on the infield, maybe. The wind's going to carry it out to right, where Connell comes in a couple of steps, makes the grab for out number 3. No runs, hits, errors, or left in the bottom of the first inning for North Scott. We move to the top of the second. No score.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
Girls State Softball Tournament 2019. I'm Lance Reno along with Lauren Leonard. We are from the East Diamond. Leaders start at Central College, and scholar athletes succeed on the court and in the classroom. In the past year, 112 Central College student athletes received academic all-conference recognition. Learn how to be more than a spectator. Visit central.edu. That's CENTRAL-.edu. Second inning rolling around at 1-2-3, 1-2-3 as we get ready for Charles City to bat here in the top of the second. No hits so far in this game. We had the on the other diamond was a no-hitter going for the young lady, and then our announcer said, well, she's got a no-hitter going, and the next pitch, boom, gone. So I'm not going to do that if that happens here, okay?
Okay, I'm going to hold you to it.
There you go. First pitch is in for a strike to Ashley Huff. She's the catcher for Charles City. A lot of times catchers bat third or fourth, usually the power hitters, it seems. If you want to draw a generality, second pitch is in the zone for a strike. Charles City kind of a throwback uniform style where the stripes parallel
I like them
on their top. Gives a little pizzazz to everything.
I think everybody up here has their traditional uniforms that they wear, and there's another strikeout. 4 in a row now for Cheek in the circle.
Interesting combinations, and you see a lot of fans sporting the T-shirts, and it's nice to see fan support regardless, and they're here for all the games. Here's the pitch, missing inside, spun it away. Alec Cross, third baseman for the Charles City Comets. They're no stranger to the state tournament. Very little breeze right now as the pitch comes in, swung on and missed. And I promised to mark in the correct squares. and not get a batter ahead, okay?
Okay.
I don't want you to have a heart attack.
You were excited. The game was intense. I do it. We all do it.
Here's the wind and the pitch at the knees. Strike called. Alex Litterer waits on deck, looking for the first base hit of the ball game.
Well, you had mentioned that Charles City is no stranger to Fort Dodge. They are second behind Clear Creek Amana as far as most appearances, total appearances at the state tournament. And so they are no stranger to coming up to Fort Dodge. And, you know, when you set a precedent like that at your school, it's just something that everybody expects once softball season starts. They expect, you know, put it on their calendar, we're going to Fort Dodge in the end of July. And
here is the next pitch, swung on and missed. The tradition continuing here, if I may borrow your phrase, for Ryan Cheek. 5 up, 5 down on strikes, and swinging, except for the third one, which was a called strike. That tradition, and it can sometimes carry over to other sports. The thing, I know you have been getting some notes ready for your duties later in the week, but I've noticed in particular the number of sophomores, freshmen, and some 8th graders playing key roles on some of these key teams.
You know, and I think that's kind of been a little bit of a trend over the last few years. We see these younger players that are impacting the lineups, and maybe not as many seniors going out, getting ready for college last summer before they head off to college, and maybe just choose not to play. But then you have those seniors that have come up through the ranks and have played for 4 or 5 years on the team, and they want to continue that. But filling in positions nicely with the younger players. And so you're right. I think we see some 8th graders and freshmen that really are making an impact on this game.
We've got a 2-ball, 1-strike count now to Alex Litterer, left fielder. 2 out, nobody on here, top of the second. Here's a pitch grounded to the left side. And the throw to first is in time. Nicely done by Robertson, the shortstop, as the cheering section makes itself known. In the top of the second, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left from the girls' state softball tournament. We go to the bottom of the second, and North Scott coming to the plate.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hey, high school sports fans. Are you following the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union online? Stay up to date with the latest information and scores from across the state as we share highlights and achievements from our student athletes. You can follow all the action on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Just search at IGHSAU.
We want to thank you, tip our hat to you, the viewers and or listeners taking part in the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament. You're watching it or listening. It's presented to you, no charge, by the Iowa Farm Bureau and the Mid-American Energy Company Championship Network. We're on the Iowa Central field, we being Laura Leonard and myself, Lance Reno. Nothing going here. It's all zeros on that scoreboard out in the left as we have Sam Lee leading off the bottom of the second inning for North Scott, the Lancers. Bright red tops, cardinal red, if you will, and the gray pants. This one popped up. Wind blowing a little bit, but it's the shortstop Chambers coming in that has it measured for the first out.
And Sammy Heyer out there in the circle directing traffic. Try to stay away from that, as a lot of pitchers do on those pop-ups, and allow your defenders behind you to make the play. And so she pointed it out and allowed Chambers to come in behind her to pull that one in.
Litterer in left, Stout in center, and Connell is your right fielder for Charles City for the Comets. Here's a strike at the knees, outside corner. So Sammy Heyer gets the first pitch into a strike for her opponent, Ryan Cheek. Next pitch in a little tight. Cheek will go down to first base, hit by the pitch. Infielders across at third, Chambers at second, Chambers at short, Pfizer at second, Gable is at first. We're going to have, it looks like, a substitution here. You can courtesy run, and I'll let you catch that courtesy runner. Number 18, I believe.
Kylie Weston.
Westling? Weston, you got it. So that breaks the string of not having anybody get on base. Our substitution being brought to you through the tournaments by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. One out, one on. Scoreless hit, and a fly ball out to short center field. You had the better view on that, Laura. Center field didn't look like she got a great jump.
She didn't, and it was one of those little bloopers. It was a tweener that Chambers at shortstop really covered a lot of ground, and that ball just flew right over the top of her glove, and center fielder Stout could not get in time to get a beat on that.
Let's see if North Scott can cash in on the opportunity here. Our vantage point is on a direct line from the catcher to the pitcher, and so sometimes the man in the pink shirt, the umpire, can sometimes get in the way as he gets in his proper position. Here's a pop-up, foul territory. Hey, they caught it this time. The last foul pop we saw spun away. But that's a big out right there, Laura.
That is, and that's exactly what you're looking for when you have those runners in scoring position early on in this ballgame.
Again, we're seeing a pretty good catcher in Heft. She gets the signs from the dugout. North Lynn catcher pretty much calls the game on her own. Very seldom looks over to the dugout. Here's a bouncing ball, foul, first base line, just a big strike. Alexis Beadle, third baseman for North Scott. I like that nickname that they have. It's very distinctive. Lancers.
The Lancers? It is. It's a strong, bold nickname. And you know what? They have some championships to go with it. So
yes.
that nickname has served them well.
Here's the pitch. Just missed off the outside corner. From originally a one-class all-schools tournament, then eventually went into the four classes. And there were enough teams to make it a five-class deal. That's probably about the right classification, wouldn't you say?
I think so. I think, there's some schools that balance on the line that we've seen bump up or bump down every couple of years. And
right.
So is that an argument to just bring it back to four classes?
No.
I don't know.
No. Just pointing out the fact that there's more opportunities for kids, particularly in the smaller schools. They feel like they have a better chance now. You're classed 1A and 2A. I know that East Marshall up until a couple of years ago was 3A. Now they're down to 2A. And you had the other team that won here this afternoon, the game we did, they went from 2A to 3A. Here's a swing and a miss on the strikeout. So we'll cut the political talk here, just trying to give you something to think about beyond what was on dominating on TV most of the day. No runs on 2 hits, opportunity 2 left, no errors. We've played 2 complete innings of play, and it's a scoreless game.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
I wanted a big university experience.
Without the big university price.
That's why I chose Iowa Central.
What makes Iowa Central so different than other community colleges is its size.
Big campus, lots of programs, athletics, and performing arts.
I live right here on campus.
And the teachers know me by name.
I'll be career ready in 2 years.
And all my credits transfer to a university.
It's a big time experience.
Without the big time price.
Come see it for yourself.
We're back at the Iowa Central Diamond, the East Diamond, affectionately known as Diamond number 2. I'm Lance Reno along with Laura Leonard. We're going here to the third, Laura. Not much happening so far.
Not a whole lot. It's been pitcher dominated, and see if Charles City can break through here in their half of the inning.
Charles City will have 7, 8, and 9 at the plate. Kiki Connell, the right fielder, starts with the first pitch from Ryan Cheek as a ball. We have had Charles City get to the number 9 spot in the order. North Scott to the number 9 spot in the order. No runs on a hit for North Scott. Charles City batting here. No runs, no hits, no errors. You'd like to see a clean game with them in the field.
Yeah, you hate to have a game decided by errors.
Kiki Connell. And it's a strike. Ruled that she went. It's interesting to watch the batter. Some of them, they really tighten up. Some of them are just, okay, I'm ready for the next one. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Caught it about letter high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ryan Cheek working here. Trying to keep the shutout going for the Lancers of North Scott. The line and the pitch goes low. Full count. First full count of this game here.
Certainly making Cheek work here in this first at bat of the 3rd inning.
Next pitch fouled off. Litterer is a junior. 37 hits in 102 at bats. That computes to a pretty hefty batting average of .597. So it indicates that she does get on base quite a bit. The pitch from Cheek goes high and out of the zone. First base runner of the game. That breaks the string of 6 consecutive batters set down. Sammy Heyer, pitcher for the Comets of Charles City, stands in. Up for her first time at the plate. Sadie Gable checks in at the on-deck circle. Anderson behind the plate looks out to Ryan Cheek. Here's the sign, got it from the dugout. Bunted, but foul. Not playable.
Well, when you have your opportunities, you get base runners on, and you know they're probably going to be limited in this ball game just because of the caliber of the pitchers on both sides. But you get a runner on, and you're being asked to sacrifice. You got to get the bunt down. You got to get it done. Fundamentals are very key.
This pitch goes low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. The bunt is a good way in this game to move that runner because you never know. An overthrow, you get 2 bases instead of 1. But a lot of times teams in these semifinals, they're well schooled in how to handle the bunt and what to expect. Bunt, foul. Heads up play. Smart play by the third baseman, Beadle. That bunt attempt rolls foul.
Had to dance around it and then just wasn't real sure whether she should pick it up or not, but did the right thing, let it go foul, and now down 2 strikes in the count is Heyer.
And it's early in the game where the surface is still fairly flat. It hasn't been scuffed up with cleats or anything like that, which can sometimes cause a ball to bounce the wrong way. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bunted first base line. Tag play for the first baseman. It goes 3 unassisted on the putout. 1 gone, but down to second goes Kiki Connell. So the sacrifice works. And that's kind of gutsy. Put it down with 2 strikes.
It is gutsy, but put it in the perfect spot right down the first baseline. Tough play for the first baseman to be able to pick it up and try to throw that lead runner out at second. Instead, she just makes the tag, and that advances the runner, so job well done.
9-hitter Sadie Gable is up. She takes the changeup. Lower part of the strike zone for strike 1. Elizabeth Pfizer waits on deck, the leadoff hitter. 1 out. Go-ahead run in the person of Connell down at second base. Pitch. In for a strike. And now Cheek, after giving up the sacrifice bunt, works the count ahead of Sadie Gable. Top of the 3rd inning. The pitch. Taken out. Oh, that was a close one. That took Laura's breath away. That was close enough.
Yeah, it was
call.
close, but I think it was a good call. It was on the outside part of the plate.
Good call. No arguments there. I would like to compliment the umpiring staff here from the games we've seen behind this vantage point. But here's a wild pitch. Down to third base goes Kiki Connell. Now the strategy changes a little bit here. Get the ball to the outfield. I was impressed in the last game on the sacrifice fly that got it to right field and scored the runner.
He's going to bring that infield in now, so anything in the infield, they're going to check that runner. If she's going on the pitch.
Watch out, cameraman. Hello down there. Everybody good? Everybody's good?
Looks like everybody's still upright, so that's a good thing.
He's still moving. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This has been a dangerous place this week on the foul balls. Even some of the photographers down in the media areas have had their lives at risk. Whoa, there's the one up around the chin. And Gable, a little bit anxious, went after it, didn't get it. And there's 2 gone now here in the 3rd inning for Charles City. Elizabeth Pfizer down on strikes, swinging her first time. She looks at this slapping the ball, moved forward, and called for a strike. Just checking here her strikeout totals on the year. 1 strikeout. 2 now. Well, good eye. That's why she's probably the leadoff batter.
And she's got some speed as well.
And bats from the port side, which gives her a stride and a half advantage going down to first. No balls and 2 strikes. Pfizer trying to move that runner from third. The go-ahead runs down there 60 feet away. Just stayed alive. That pitch was outside and breaking downward, and she got the bat on it.
That's what a good leadoff hitter does, spoils some pitches.
You often wonder when you get a new player in there how the coach determines who's going to be my leadoff hitter, what the combination is. So the players sometimes have to show the coach what they can do. Here's a delivery. Down on strike, swinging. And that'll end the top of the 3rd for Charles City. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. You're watching the 2019 Girls State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau and the Mid-American Energy Company Championship Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Welcome back to Iowa Central Field as you're watching the Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy Company. Lauren Leonard along with myself, Lance Reno. The first pitch is swung on and grounded to the right side by Kate Hayes on her first at bat. That goes 4-3 on the putout. She's the number 9 hitter in the lineup. So we're back to the top of the order. Laura, both teams approximately in the same spot in their batting orders now coming into the second time around.
Well, and a second chance to see the pitcher and see if these hitters have made some adjustments.
We'll see if Laura's prediction comes true. Well, there's an adjustment. That's a fly ball out to center. She had grounded at first her first time, so, yeah, the adjustments are in the process.
first pitch swinging as well, and so trying to be aggressive. And sometimes with really good pitchers in the circle, you're only going to see maybe one good pitch to hit, and if you think that's going to be the first one that she throws to you, you got to go after it.
Sammy Heyer only had 10 pitches last inning, as there was a lot of, as you just pointed out, first pitch swinging. Pitch here is a ball. Coaches are smart enough to pick up on that, so that as they prepare their scouting report, if you're playing them in the next round, they can instruct their pitcher how they want to attack the hitter. This is Brooke Kilborg, center fielder. She lined to the shortstop, and that was a fantastic catch out there. Timed it well, went up for the grab. Rachel Anderson waits on the on-deck circle. Off-speed pitch that had a little bit of, would you call that a rising drop ball?
It had a little stuff to it. Had some nice spin and just throws kind of like a little palm ball up there.
Yeah. Here's the pitch. In the air, deep, left field, over the left fielder Litterer's head to the fence. Stand-up double for Brooke Kilberg with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning for North Scott.
Everybody holding their breath over on the Charles City side, thinking that it might have been out of here because she did get a good piece of it, but up against the fence, and she's standing at second base.
And about 10 feet short of that fence, you think?
Yeah.
Fence has got to be about 6 feet tall, so it takes a pretty hefty poke to clear that fence.
And 200 at the corners as well as to dead center. And, a lot of ballparks that these teams play in, 180 at the corners,
right,
and 200 to center. So a little bit longer down the lines.
That last pitch, a very slow one from Heyer. Here's a nice grab by the shortstop. Second nice play that Chambers has made as she gets the play made after the 2-out double. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We have played 3 full innings here at Iowa Central Diamond in the 2019 Girls State Softball Tournament semifinals between Charles City and North Scott. Back for the 4th inning after this.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus, special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
Boy, Mark, as we go to the top of the 4th inning, Charles City will be batting. A reminder that Central College is recruiting leaders. Come learn and play at the place that regularly wins national team championships, national individual titles, conference titles, and conference all-sports titles. Visit central.edu to learn how you can be more than a spectator. That's CENTRAL.edu. One of our sponsors, and of course some of the young ladies that are playing here have committed to Central. Know that the Farrington gal from East Marshall and the young lady that got injured just prior to the start of the tournaments, Greiner from Ottumwa, good hitter, and they missed her, I think, from the standpoint of offense.
Yeah, and that, Central has, we talk about tradition. Central has great tradition in softball, and they've done such a great job down there with that program. And it's one of the colleges and the programs in Iowa that I think we've got great softball at all levels here in our state, right, at the smaller colleges all the way up to the Division Ones. All of them had a nice showing, and and a couple of them in a rebuilding process, but getting stronger.
Here's the bunt, and it's a fair ball, touched by the third baseman, Beadle, and Lydia Stott able to beat it out. Bunt single to third. Beadle was waiting for that to roll foul, and it didn't do it. George Wares has established an excellent program there at Central.
Yes, he really has, and it just it's a well-oiled machine down there. They just year in and year out are competing to get to the national title game.
And Mike Christner, who is also an umpire up here, he has the William Penn University NAIA program, getting it built back up. So there are opportunities. What my point is, all of these young ladies that we see here and on the other teams have the opportunity to further their education and play softball. Here's a pitch up and in to Rachel Chambers from Ryan Cheek. Swinging strike.
Just to further that point, one more is not only do they get to further their education, but they get to do it at really, really good schools here in the state of Iowa. They're going to get a fantastic education, and we keep them here in the state of Iowa. Those are the things I like about it.
The bunt goes to the pitcher. She throws to second. The runner's going to be safe there. Fielder's choice here, and I would say an error on the throw by the pitcher.
Yeah, I would have to say so, too. That ball was in the dirt. A tough chance for Robertson to have to try to field that ball.
They haven't flipped. Yeah, they just did on the scoreboard. Good call. Ashlyn Heft, the catcher, stands in. 0 for 1, a strikeout victim in the first. It looks like Charles City has made those fine adjustments here in their approach to the pitches from Cheek. First pitch is swung on and missed for a strike. Just seems hard. Monday we started and we had 40 teams in contention. Here we are Wednesday and we're going to be down to the final 10. Games have gone by quickly. Championship night start tomorrow night. Iowa Public Television will be broadcasting those games. Here's a swing and a miss. We know that there's quite a large number of you that have checked in online on this Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy. And we thank you for doing that. You've had a variety of games, some close ones. In fact, most of them have been close. And you've seen all the quarterfinals by the time this night is through. And then we move to the big guys with the big tower, 2,000-foot tower, I think it is, up at Alleman. Iowa Public Television. And they do a lot of good things for girls athletics. I know that Laura is very much tied in with the girls state basketball championships. This is a little smaller ball, right? Or did I get it wrong?
This is a little, and it's a different color.
Oh, okay.
So just those two small subtle differences between the game.
I get easily confused. Here's the pitch out of the strike zone, 1-2. You've probably seen some of these girls during the state tournament in basketball.
And it's interesting because you see them in that light, you see them in their basketball uniforms, and then you see them here in their softball uniforms, and you kind of don't recognize them because it's a little bit different look. They got a hat on or a visor on, sunglasses. They got the face guards on, and so you kind of you hear the name and you go, oh yeah, I remember her.
Ashlyn Heft went down on strike swinging, so still runners at first and second here for Charles City as Allie Cross, third baseman, comes up. She struck out swinging her first time, but she just missed under that one, maybe by a quarter of an inch of driving that out towards center field. The runner at second base is Stout. The runner at first is Chambers. Charles City looking to break the zeros on the board here in the top of the fourth. Charles City with one hit, North Scott with two. Ryan Cheek tried to get the rise ball to chase it. She wouldn't. Alex Litterer, left fielder, standing in. Carlisle is in the 4A state softball championship. Winner of this one, North Scott or Charles City. Who's it going to be? The next pitch goes low for a ball. It's not uncommon to see the semifinal games go into the fourth or fifth inning with no score.
Right. I mean, it's just because you have two quality teams. Pitching is really good. Defense has been outstanding. And none of the hitters in the lineups for both sides have been really able to get a bead on the opposing pitcher to try to string hits together.
A lot of them are getting pretty good rips.
Getting good rips, you got to make contact, though. You can get up there and swing all day long, but you got to get the fat part of the barrel on the ball.
2-2 pitch, and it's a called strike three. Caught the outside corner at the knees. 2 gone here in the Charles City top of the 4th. Alex Litterer, left-handed batter, left fielder. Let's see if she can drive the ball. She grounded it short her first time up.
It's the 9th strikeout for Ryan Cheek so far here in this early ball game.
She's been clicking on all 4 cylinders, averaging 2 strikeouts an inning, basically. On the other hand, though, that may not play into North Scott's hands because the infielders haven't been very busy getting a read. Here's the next pitch in for a strike. A little bit of a delay on the call, and the catcher, Anderson, was waiting to hear what the pitch was and delayed, hesitated on her throw to third as the runners advance a base.
And I think the infielders got a little too comfortable and just complacent, and Anderson was framing that pitch instead of being aware of the runners, and they took off, so nice move to be able to steal their way into scoring position.
Sometimes it's that little thing. Let's see here if Charles City can cash in. Wild pitch here, a passed ball would put the first run on the board. Alex Litterer up with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Kiki Connell waiting to hit. Litterer grounded to short her last time. Infielders creep in. Don't know whether you can see that on the screen or not, but they're ready to come in quickly. Right field, second base, first base right now. The angle of the sun going to make it a tough look for that ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Top of the 4th. North Scott's Ryan Cheek brings the pitch. It's a ball, and we go full count.
Well, and you have a base open, so it wouldn't be a horrible thing if she gives up ball 4 right here.
And you got the number 8 hitter coming up,
right,
which traditionally is not as high an average hitter. 2-1 Alta Aurelia in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the ground ball to short, to first in time. And Robertson to Newman gets the out. Charles City threatens, no runs on a hit. There's 1 error and 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th with no score.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
We are back at Iowa Central Diamond, we being Laura Leonard, color analyst, myself, Lance Reno. On the other diamond, Kruger Seats Field, it's in the bottom of the 7th now. East Marshall trails Alta Aurelia 2-1. East Marshall has been in that boat before during the tournament trail. They almost didn't make it past Colfax Mingo as they trailed 2-0 going into the 7th inning and rallied for 3 in the bottom of the 7th. They got their work cut out for them. Here, North Scott at the plate, their work's cut out for him. Sam Lee starts off the bottom of the 4th. She popped to short her first time. 2 hits in the game credited to North Scott, just 1 to Charles City. Pitch goes outside for a ball. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Dirk Sorensen behind the plate, Richard Sebring at first, and Phil Crease is at third as your umpiring team. Here's one popped up. Playable, foul territory, near collision there, but the first baseman, Gable, had it called and had it measured all the way. 1 out. Surely something's going to happen here in the next inning. You just have that feeling.
You know, it's you always feel as you get into the later innings of a ball game that, okay, somewhere it's going to be that one little play that's going to, you know, there's a crack in the door, it's going to blow it wide open. And that's the kind of feeling that you get in a ball game like this. It's going to take one little play or a single or something to get them going.
Ryan Cheek, as you just pointed out, she was hit by a pitch the first time, so she didn't get a swing. First pitch hitting here, grounds a single out to right center.
You know, in growing up, my grandmother and I would watch the World Series and watch baseball, and she always felt and always said, seventh inning. Always something happens in the seventh inning, so you shorten down a softball game. Fourth inning, something's going to happen.
Right there.
Yeah.
And now we have the courtesy runner, Westling, running for Cheek. As she comes in, she's a substitute. Our substitution is brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Here's the pitch from Heyer. Went with a rise ball outside the strike zone and up high for a swinging strike one. One out, one on. Bottom of the fourth. Scoreless battle right here. No hitters in the making here, but still a lot of tension. Changeup. Dropped before it crossed the plate. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 81 degrees at game time. Nice July night in Fort Dodge, Iowa. Next pitch is a ball outside. Heft was looking to make the throw down to first, but Gable, the first baseman, was down the line about 8 feet. Would not have been a good play.
You just have to show and give the appearance that you might cut loose with a throw down there to first base to keep that runner.
Here's your delivery. It's fouled off to the back. Nice location on that pitch that time by Sammy Heyer. She is not the strikeout artist that we see in North Scott, but she's been effective, although she's given up hits in consecutive innings here. The next pitch, swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Ashlyn Shannon, and Abby Mahler steps in for the Lancers. Runner at first. Move the runner along. Who's going to keep the line moving? Swing and a foul. That time, Heyer came inside with her pitch. She's been working this inning mostly to the outside half.
And a little off speed. Took something off of that one, and Moeller was just a little bit out in front of it.
Here's the delivery. A little faster speed that time. Why is it that the slower pitchers, no matter what level you're in, whether it's softball or baseball, are harder to hit than the fireballers?
I think you just get so anxious seeing that ball float up there if they're throwing it off speed. You just want to nail it, and you just get ahead of yourself, and you get out on that front foot, and the bat starts moving, and you can't seem to hold up. And those hitters that are able to hold up, you can see how they level the bat out and really nail a ball, but Heyer gets the best of Moeller that time.
She went changeup and then fastball up in the zone and retires Abby Moeller. So in the inning, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We played 4 full innings. As we go to the 5th with Charles City coming to the plate, we are in a scoreless tie.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
All you have to do, you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and be. being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
You must be boring.
this is a magical place.
Hearing a little sound coming from Diamond 1, the Kruger Seeds field, as Alto Rio was leading East Marshall 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th. That game may be final right now. We're in the 5th inning. Charles City, North Scott. The Comets and Lancers dueling it out here. And number 7 in the order starts the batting in the 5th for Charles City. The right fielder, Kiki Heyer. Ryan Cheek with 9 strikeouts so far. She has been on the mark. Somebody didn't like the game, so they're leaving early on the, it's not a jet plane, but up in the sky.
Maybe their team's already won and they're going home to celebrate.
There you go. Nice pitch by Ryan Cheek. Took a little off, gave it a little bit of a hump in the middle of the delivery, and she's ahead of O'Connell now. No balls and 2 strikes. Sammy Heyer standing in. We've not really had any solid smash hits, but one here maybe in this game so far by either team. And as I think, as Laura pointed out, trying to make those adjustments, and so far they're still making adjustments. Are we going to go to the 7th inning? No extra innings here, maybe. There's a changeup, but it's trouble. It dropped in the dirt, got away from the catcher. That's a strikeout for the pitcher, and a passed ball on the catcher. She reaches first base. E2, I guess you'd call that. Did they put that up as an error?
I think it is, isn't it?
They did.
Yeah.
That would be the first error of the ball game. Well, I'm not sure that they did. We'll market that with a question mark. Here's the pitch. It could be a passed ball, too.
I think, is it a K with a passed ball on that one?
Yeah. Sammy Heyer, the pitcher's up. She grounded it to the first baseman her first time up. It's definitely not a hit. Here's the next one. Almost hit the bat and the foul ball. Almost a play there. First base umpire called it dead immediately. Right on the mark. It'll go down as a strike. That may be the toughest play for the home plate umpire.
Yeah,
right,
and it's hard to see because there's so many bodies moving. Vision is impacted because everybody's moving in one direction. And I think there's some question as to, did the ball hit her and she was in the field of play? Did the ball come up and hit the bat? Did it come up and hit any part of her? And I think that's what the question is.
Coach had her question answered. The coaches have been very, very mannerly coming out here. You like to see that. Doesn't do any good to work your team up. So here we go. No balls and 2 strikes to Heyer. Outside corner at the knees. Heyer was looking for something else, I think. That's the 10th strikeout now from Cheek.
It's actually the 11th because you get Connell with a strikeout, and then the pass ball to get her to first base, and now Heyer with strikeout. So we just looked it up, and number of strikeouts in a 4A game was 16.
That's a ground ball to the second baseman. Nicely played by Hayes to Newman for the out. To retire Charles City's Comets here in the top of the 5th inning. No runs. I'm sorry. I did it again. We got 2 outs. And top of the order, Elizabeth Pfizer. North Scott would like that to have been the 3rd out. The runner goes to second base on the play.
Pfizer, a couple of strikeouts.
This time she grounds it. Beadle at 3rd with a long, strong arm throw. 5-3. Now we can go with the inning. No runs on no hits. 1 error and 1 runner left on base. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Charles City, nothing. North Scott, nothing.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on. They say our idea of fun is morning tea, and afternoon tea,
and anytime tea.
and we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say Storm Lake, Iowa isn't in the center of the action. And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
We might not always know.
And here from the home plate umpire, Dirk Sorensen, on that ball in the batter's box. Was dead immediately once it hit the bat while she was still in the batter's box, and then as it progressed, it became dead a second time up the line. Good call on his part. We
Great
start
call.
here. Bottom of the fifth. Alexis Beadle, third baseman, looks at a strike. Kate Hayes, the number 9 hitter, and Taylor Robertson will be coming up. They would like to get to Brooke Kilborg, who has hit the ball hard. She's in the number 2 spot, but would be the 4th batter in the inning. But in the last game, it went late before Carlisle and West Delaware. West Delaware put up a big crooked number in the top of the inning. Then Carlisle had to come back.
They had to come back, and then they had to go to extras and
walk off
a big home run.
Alexis Beadle with an 0-2 count here. The wind of the pitch. Check swing. Goes foul down the first base line. Fans in the stands up above us, to the left and to the right. A lot of fans like those outfield bleachers that you see beyond your camera view there, particularly when you get the home plate view. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, down on strikes. She's cruising along here right now as higher. Retired 5 out of the last 6. And has surrendered only 3 hits. That's a respectable performance.
Yeah, very respectable, and doing what she needs to do to keep her team in this ball game, not allowing any runs.
Kate Hayes takes a strike. It would be nice to see a couple of base runners on to see the pressure on the defense and how they react. I don't care which team it is, but we haven't had that opportunity. At most, just 2 on in one inning, and that was the second when North Scott put 2 on. Foul. You didn't flinch. Good.
I didn't, but what a catch by Heft to catch that ball that caroms off the back fence and right to her bare hand and pulls it in, and they check it over, make sure there's no cuts in it, and send it back out to the circle.
Here's the 0-2 delivery. Strike 3 called. 2 gone here. Yeah, when you go to the other diamond and sit in the proximal location we're sitting in, that net now gives a little bit, gives almost 2 feet. So you kind of flinch, and here you just hope that it holds and doesn't go through the wire. Taylor Robertson has been one of the few batters here for North Scott that's put the bat on the ball both times. She's grounded to first, flied out to center. Bottom of the 5th, no score, nobody on. A little bit of breeze blowing out toward left center field. Sammy Higher goes higher with that pitch and out of the zone. Brooke Kilborg, who has a double and hit the ball hard to short, is the upcoming batter. The wind and the pitch. Just outside. And it's a 3-0 count here. North Scott Lancers. Here's a strike. West Delaware awaits in the 3rd place game Friday at 4:45. The winner of this game goes on to the championship. There's that little pumpkin pitch, if you want to call it that. Misses the strike zone. Robertson becomes a base runner here in the bottom of the 5th for North Scott.
Well, and you had said you wanted to see something happen, get some runners on base, see if the pressure gets to the defense. So you've got the base runner, you've got the number 2 hitter up in Kilberg. See if she can find a gap in the outfield.
She takes the first pitch for a strike. As you said, she hit the ball hard that the shortstop made the dynamic play on, and then doubled her last time. Deciding inning here, the 5th pitch goes high for a ball. Rachel Anderson, who's also put the ball in play, her 2 appearances, waits on deck. That's part of the key, that we're still now just starting the 3rd time through the lineup instead of that happening in, say, the 3rd inning. Here's the next delivery. At the knees, a strike called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sammy Heyer working on a 3-hit shutout. Ryan Cheek working on a 1-hit shutout. Pitch is out of the strike zone. That evens a count of 2-2. Kind of feel like we're in a little bit of a lull here, almost like a bad weather system moving in. Is one of these 2 teams going to break something loose? There's a shot right off the pitcher, but she makes the play. Sammy Heyer, you may want to check her out, Coach. She takes the line drive and throws it to first base for the out here, and that completes 5 innings of play. 1 runner left for North Scott in the bottom of the 5th from the 2019 Girls State Softball Tournament at Iowa Central Field in Fort Dodge, being presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
We might not always know what the day will
Well,
bring.
Central Field here
Some
at the
things
Harlan
are
Rogers
certain.
Sports Complex
The sun
in
will
Fort
rise.
Dodge. I'm Lance Reno alongside Laura Leonard. We're bringing you the semifinal in 4A between North Scott and Charles City. We head to the top of the 6th. It's a scoreless tie, and you're watching it and listening on the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's digital network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. The finals, which start tomorrow night, will be on Iowa Public Television. It's been CISN's honor to bring you the quarterfinal and semifinal games. The question now becomes, who's going to give us the answer? We're not going to go before a judicial panel or a Senate panel. You've got a scoreless tie, top of the 6th. Lydia Stout, center fielder, had a bunt single her last time up for Charles City. Who's going to make the break here and break the ice? Next pitch is bunted. And down the line, safe. Good call at first base.
Well, could that be the first chip out of the ice right there? Doing something to make it happen, to get her team fired up. Lays down a perfect bunt that spins in the dirt. She turns on the afterburners and gets down to first base.
We don't have a tape measure or yardstick, but I'd say that was maybe 3.5 feet in front of home plate.
If that.
If that.
Yeah.
Rachel Chambers, the shortstop, is up, has been called out on strikes. She's going to put the ball down to the first baseman, the left-handed first baseman. No play but other than go to first, where Hayes, the second baseman. That's Newman to Hayes on the sacrifice bunt. 1 out. More importantly, for Charles City, Lydia Stott, the runner at first, now on second base with Ashlyn Heft standing in, ready to stand in. Short conference between Anderson and Cheek. Want to make sure they know what's going on. And now we're going to have the coach come out. And that'll be the first charge conference going here. Strategy-wise, 1 out, runner at second. Do we bunt again and give up an out? Or do you take your chances here and let your hitters swing away? You're right at the heart of the order.
I think you're right. You're right there at the number 4 and 5 hitters, but you also look at what they've done. Both of them have struck out in their 2 plate appearances. So are they due? Do you play the percentages? I think you let them hit away, and hopefully you can find a gapper that you can get it out of the infield. They're going to play in a little bit on the infield.
Corners.
Yep, at the corners, just in case there is another bunt. A few steps in at shortstop.
Ryan Cheek with the first pitch to half. She hammers it out to left. It may go. It is over the fence. Nice bunt call, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you. I called for the bunt, and she didn't listen, which was fantastic. And she takes that first pitch and nails it out of the ballpark.
That was a no-doubter, a 2-run shot, and literally a shot, just about like the shot from the young lady with Carlisle, who hit the walk-off.
Yeah, it's almost the same spot, and so you have to wonder, is there a little jet stream right there in left field, and now you've got to...
There is a little bit of a breeze.
Yeah, and you got to regain your composure now if you're North Scott. You've got to figure out, okay, we got to get out of this inning. We've given up 2 runs. Let's get everything back together. We've got a couple more at bats to get back after it. And so let's stop it right here. And that's, I think, what they're taking their time to do is to talk about.
2 out of their 3 hits have come this inning. How big is that bunt single? We've got a pitching change, looks like, as number 5 is coming in for North Scott. And that would be Drew Lewis. She was the young lady that came in with the first batter in the second, getting on base for Oskaloosa. And she did not give up a hit or a run the rest of the way against the Indians. Drew Lewis comes on in relief. Top of the 6th inning. Time growing short, but you called it. That was the chink, maybe the crack to open the door. It'll be interesting to see how North Scott responds. Now, remember, they trailed Oskaloosa, who got 2 in the top of the 1st, but they hung in there and were able to send it to extras, in which they won that. So they're coming in on a little bit of a high. Who's going to step up? Who's going to be the leader here and make the big play? On the other hand, Charles City now has only 1 out, and that was a sacrifice bunt. They got to feel a little confident. Allie Cross has a little bounce in her step as she jogs down to third to meet with Coach Brian Boland. At least it didn't go off anybody. It was a clean shot. She earned it.
Absolutely. And boy, was she got exactly what she was looking for.
Yep. She did. Here's a pop-up on the first pitch from Lewis, and it's caught by the second baseman. Our home run, 2-run shot by Ashlyn Heft, has been one of the extra base hits. And you know, the extra base hits during the Girls State Softball Tournament are brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Now quickly 2 outs, but has all the damage been done? We'll find out. We've got 2 more innings to play. Pitch is a strike call to Alex Litterer, left-handed batter. Umpire just stuck his arm out. We may have an illegal pitch upcoming. He's going to go out and talk to the pitcher. I think we got the illegal pitch.
Yep, you're right. You caught that. The arm went out to the side.
The left arm. This was a point of emphasis at the clinics this year in softball. So we're going to go with a ball on the count. The offensive coach has his choice. You can take the result of the play. Just because it's an illegal pitch doesn't mean the batter can't swing at it, right?
Right. That is correct.
Here's the 1-1 delivery. Going high for Lewis. she changed speeds, and we did the North Scott Oskaloosa game. The Oskaloosa hitters really couldn't put a strong hit on the ball with Lewis out there. We'll see if she can continue that magic, although right now she's in danger of putting a runner on freebie. Alex Litterer, 3 balls and 1 strike count. Nobody on after the 2-run homer with Ashlyn Heft putting Charles City ahead 2-0 here. Count is full. Litterer, the number 6 hitter in the lineup for Charles City. Here's Lewis's delivery outside and low, and it's ball 4. Charles City's dugout, I think, if I'm reading it right, they're a little fired up. Laura?
They are fired up, and they have every right to be after the 2-run shot, and it just changes the whole complexion of the game for many, many reasons, but you kind of relax a little bit. It's been very tense and very tight up until this point, and then Haft gets a big home run with a runner on, and that loosens things up.
Scoreless through 5. Charles City with 2 in the home run here in the inning. Here's a stolen base attempt on this pitch. It was a strike. The ball gets away down at second, but backing it up is Kilberg, the center fielder. No balls and 2 strikes. That's a little gutsy call to have her steal a base with 1 strike. And you got 2 outs. But it also is that big P word, pressure on the defense.
Right. You know, they have pulled a few surprises in this ball game, base running wise. Earlier, stole second and third when they thought it was a time that was a great opportunity for them. They were able to pull that off, and so you just can't count them out. You got to stay on your toes defensively.
Drew Lewis on in relief here in the 6th inning. The pitch out of the zone. Catcher comes up with it cleanly. That takes the count out of 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. 2-0 in favor of Charles City, the visiting team. Remember, North Scott has the last at bat, which they did against Oskaloosa. Here's the wind, the pitch. Line foul, third base line. Plate umpire, Dirk Sorensen, out to check the ball. Good hustle. Anderson behind the plate, doing her best to coax Lewis into throwing another strike. Here's the pitch. Off speed, popped up, foul territory. That was 110% effort on the part of Anderson as she went diving after that foul ball.
Located it right away and just took 1 step back before she got moving forward, and I think that cost her a little bit.
It's hard to locate that ball a little bit as that ball goes up. That play maybe took, 2.5 seconds, roughly, time-wise. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing, and it's away from the catcher down at first base on the pass ball. Strikeout for Lewis. And she takes first on the pass ball, and taking third, Alex Litterer. The inning continues here for Charles City, looking for the late inning magic. This will be the 7th hitter to the plate in this inning for the Comets. The pitch. Sammy Heyer wanted to start a little bit of a breeze, so she took a pretty good swing there.
Boy, Charles City would like nothing more than to add 1 more to this run total.
The difference between 2 and 3 in the mind is monumental. The next pitch is a strike. For one thing, 2 is easily caught up, like we saw the 2-run homer. But you get 3, you almost got to have the grand slam to take the lead.
Right.
And get runners on consecutively. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Could be the game on the line here for Charles City. And this ball hit her. Bases are loaded. Who was talking about, wasn't that you talking in the 5th inning about the team making something happen? Your prophecy has come true.
Yeah. Well, that's all you have to do. I mean, that's something that just breaks the ice and just provides a little spark of hope. Whether you realize it or not, as your teammates, it just begins to happen.
Sammy Heyer comes out. She has a courtesy runner. And the courtesy runner is going to be Brooke Vance. Our substitution with the courtesy runner being brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. We had a game this year where the bases were loaded. The courtesy runner came in, and she was not aware there was a runner at second. She took off and tried to steal second, but got back to first.
Oh, my.
It's one of those, you can't believe it unless you see it. You got to be there. 0-2 the count.
That's why you have to pay attention when you're in the dugout.
Correct. Here's a foul ball hookout. Somebody jumped out of the uniform in there. That was a line shot back there. Can Charles City cash their chips in right here? Runner at third is Litterer. Runner at second is Connell. Vance, the courtesy runner, is at first base. And it's good that Heyer gets out to get a bit of a break as well. Here's a swing and a foul. Because she has 6 outs to get. We're in the top of the 6th. North Scott on the relief pitcher, Drew Lewis. Inside corner at the knees, strike 3 called. That's the out to retire Charles City. They send 8 to the plate in scoring twice on 2 base hits. No errors and 3 runners left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Charles City has the lead over North Scott, 2-0.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
All you have to do, you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and bing. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
You must be boring.
this is a magical place.
Back at Iowa Central Field on the Iowa Girls Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company, from the semifinals. Quarterfinals were played yesterday. We're in the semifinals here with North Scott and Charles City battling to take on Carlisle, number 1 ranked and number 1 seeded team in the championship. Scored us through 5 in the top of the inning here. 2 runs came in for Charles City, and now North Scott has the challenge. Can they answer? Sammy Heyer goes wide with the pitch for ball 1. You have Anderson, Lee, and Cheek. Anderson, bat on the ball twice, fly to right, line to short. This one looped to short on the hop, and the throw safe. Boy, the motion he started, I thought he was going to punch her out.
I did too, but then he changed his mind and said she beat it, and I think that was a good call.
It was a good call. But maybe start or wait a count longer. It's very easy to go with that real quick when you're out there. So the tying run now comes to the plate in the person of left fielder Sam Lee for North Scott. She bet the bat on the ball, has popped to short, and fouled out to first. Rewinding the pitch. Showing bunt. The pitch is inside for ball 1. Ryan Cheek, the pitcher, waits in the on-deck circle. Chance to help her cause here. Runner at first is Anderson, who has above average speed. We may or may not see the bunt. Here's a chopper. No man's land. The shortstop Chambers to her left knocks it down, and all of a sudden, we've got the tie and runs aboard and nobody out.
Hey, you get the third baseman charging in, and Cross is coming in thinking maybe bunt. She sneaks in a couple of quick steps, and that ball gets lofted right over her head, lands in the dirt right behind third base.
So Charles City, the pressure on them now to come up with the defense. Number one thing you're looking at possibly would be bunt.
Yeah.
Here maybe. Swing away. You hopefully, I don't think we've had any pass balls or wild pitches here for Sammy Higher. I don't see any marked on my sheet, so that's a factor as well.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think that I think you go ahead and lay one down is what I would do. Move them into second and third, and and hit it try to bunt to the left side or to the right side. Excuse me. Got the left-handed hitter up.
Or pull in the third baseman so that third is uncovered.
Yeah.
Shortstop will have the coverage duties now. The shortstop is in a little bit. First baseman Gebel is in quite a bit. Looking bunt. The pitch is at the knees, outside corner, strike one called. Ashlyn Shannon waits on deck. She has one of the 5 North Scott hits, but she's down in the order a little bit. Ryan Cheek hit by a pitch and had a single. Pops this one foul. Runners have to return. No balls and 2 strikes. So, Mark, if you're watching us, please go to the front check-in here at the Colin Rogers Complex. Pitch, showing bunt again. This one's outside. Higher, that's a pretty good location on that pitch.
Yeah.
If she's going to bunt it, make her bunt it where you want her to bunt it, down the third base line. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Tying runs are aboard with nobody out. In the air. If it's in the infield, no, it's going to go to the outfield. The right fielder, Connell, makes the grab. Strong throw over to third.
Wow.
But also a dangerous throw. The third baseman, Cross, fielded that thing right up eye level.
Yeah.
A little higher, and you might be seeing 2 runners circling the bases. So now there's 1 out. And Ashlyn Shannon is up. Single to center. And struck out. She takes a strike. Abby Moeller waiting on deck. Shannon had the first hit of the ball game for North Scott. 5 hits for North Scott, but no runs. Charles City with 2 runs on 3 hits. Pitch is fouled to the screen. Was she close to hitting that one? Did she have it timed?
She was on it because she fouled it straight back, but it was too high in the zone. I think she swung at a ball.
Patience here, young lady. What the coach is saying from the third base coaching box. Here's the pitch. Down on strikes. Oh, that's a big pitch by Sammy Higher. After getting 2 runners on the infield hits. Then the fly ball to right, and now the strikeout swinging, and 2 gone here. Golden opportunity for North Scott. Possibly a momentum changer in this game.
And they did opt to swing away with the middle part of their order in Cheek and Shannon and not move those runners into second and third. Would it have been a different outcome? I don't know, but you get that runner at third, you could squeeze a run home. You could just try to punch that ball into the infield to try to get the run home. Get some options if you can get that runner to third.
And right now, that runner that's very important, just even to break that 0 off the scoreboard, is at second base. If you can come out of here with 1, you got a shot in the 7th.
Yeah.
You're only down 1. Now you're down 2. Strategy, it'll see what Holly Holtering will do here. Coaching-wise, the pitch is up and out of the zone for a ball. Alexis Beadle is up. Moeller is fouled out to first and went down on strike swinging. 0 for 2. Pitch goes outside. The last thing that Charles City wants to do is give a free pass here. That loads the bases. Here's the wind of the pitch. Ball outside. 3-0 the count. Pressure right now has been reversed since the top of the inning. It's now pressure on the Charles City defense. The 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. Now, Laura, you got your runner at third.
Got the runner at third.
2 down.
Bases loaded.
And maybe a substitution coming here by North Scott. Did we have a runner go in there at first? Nope, that's Moeller. And
Pinch hitter, maybe. Yep, that's exactly what we have, is a
pinch hitter. Number 15 coming in for, that's Paige Westland as the pinch hitter here. Our substitution into the North Scott lineup is being brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. She came up there with one intent, put the ball in play. The gaps are fairly wide in the outfield. In fact, the left fielder, Litterer, and the right fielder, Connell, shaded toward the lines. A lot of ground for the center fielder, Stott, to cover if that ball heads that direction. Swing and strike 2 on Westland. I can see why the substitution was made, because the young gal that she was in for had struck out swinging both times and not made contact. Coach wants contact here. The pitch. In the air to center. Should be caught. Oh, wow. The center fielder, Stott, turned left, then turned right, and finally was able, barely, to corral that one. And that ends the bottom of the 6th inning for North Scott. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on base. We go to the 7th inning with Charles City leading North Scott on the Girls Union Digital Network. Lance Reno, Laura Leonard back for the 7th, 2-0 Charles City.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball, plus special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
Back at Iowa Central Diamond, semifinal, Class 4A. North Scott, the number 2 seeded team, battling number 3 Charles City. And Charles City with a 2-0 lead as we head to the 7th. Charles City at the plate. I'm sure that Coach Boland would like an additional insurance run. North Scott's task, keep them off the scoreboard, give themselves a chance in the bottom of the inning. We start at the number 1 hitter. That's Elizabeth Pfizer. She takes the first pitch, turns away from ball 1. Pfizer is 0 for 3 on the day, but she is a leadoff hitter, slap hitter. Second baseman Hayes shading in to the right of the pitcher's circle. Pitch goes low for a ball. Stott, Chambers scheduled. Stott has 2 hits. Both were bunts. Chambers is hitless on the day, but has had a sacrifice. Now keep in mind, too, the sun becomes a factor at first base and second. Here's a slap shot right down to third. Beadle, gloves. She, for a young lady that's not very large, not very tall, she has a cannon for an arm.
She does, and she has got great quick hands as well. I mean, those shots down to third base is just all reaction time, and she did a great job of just picking that ball cleanly out of the glove and firing across.
You either make the play or it goes by you. Did a good job. Got her feet set, too, if you noticed. Here's a bunt attempt by Lydia Stout. Pitch was down and away, and Stout, the left-handed batter, was trying to squirrel it down the line towards Beadle. I think that would be a bad choice, the way Beadle has played third base. Here's the pitch. Took a little off that time, did Drew Lewis. And the changeup gets A swinging strike from Lydia Stout. And now an offensive conference. I like the rule governing conferences, so you keep track of that. You don't get too many of those that slow down or delay the game. This game has been moving right along. We're in the top of the 7th. Charles City with a 2-run edge would like to add another one. 1 out, nobody on for Lydia Stout. She looks at an 0-2 count. Swinging strike 3. And Drew Lewis nonchalantly has, other than giving up a walk and a pass ball, had the bases loaded, similar to her relief effort yesterday against Oskaloosa. Both of these teams played yesterday. It doesn't really show on the diamond. 2 outs, swinging strike 1, Rachel Chambers. Called out on strikes, reached on the fielder's choice, and she's had a sacrifice bunt. 0 for 2 on the day. In the heart of the order, if you're going to score, this is the place. Next pitch is a swing and a miss, but it goes off the catcher's glove. Still, it's just strike 2.
I like to shut the door here and give their chance, or give their team a chance at the plate to tie this up or win the ball game in the bottom of the 7th.
Here's the pitch, and it's a looper out into shallow left center. Base hit for Rachel Chambers, and that'll be the 5th hit of the ball game for Charles City. 2 out and the runner on. Correction, 4th hit. I was looking at you have the unusual statistical quirk. 2 runs on 4 hits for Charles City, no runs on 5 hits for North Scott. Normally, the team with the most hits is the team that has the lead. So here we go again with 2 outs and a runner at first. Lewis's pitch, jammed Ashlyn Heft on the inside. Now, this young lady, 1 inning ago, changed the complexion of this game forever. After striking out twice, she hits the 2-run shot out in the left center field fence, over the fence. The big blow. The pitch. Trying again. Tried to loft that one a little bit. 0-2 the count.
Trying to see if she can go 2 for 2, home run, back-to-back plate appearances.
Doesn't happen often, but it does.
Doesn't happen often, but she was taking a swing like she wanted it to happen.
Wouldn't that be ironic if she did? I think it would be. Here's the pitch. She's trying for it, didn't get it. She's down on strikes, and that ends the inning here for Charles City in the top of the 7th. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Deciding time, Laura Leonard, Lance Reno from the semifinal in Class 4A, going to the bottom of the 7th for North Scott. They trail Charles City by a 2-0 score.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Back for the bottom of the 7th inning here from Iowa Central Field. I'm Lance Reno alongside Laura Leonard. And this has been basically a one-swing game. And that swing came off the bat in the 6th inning of Ashlyn Hoff, the 2-run homer. And right now that's the difference. North Scott, no runs, 5 hits, have committed 1 error. Charles City with 2 runs on 4 hits, committed no errors. And in this game, 8 runners have been stranded by North Scott. Emma Sandkeep is leading off as a pinch hitter. I'll get this in a second. First pitch is a strike to Sandcoop. Our substitution being brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. There's a swing and a miss. Sometimes the substitution in off the bench, they've been watching the pitcher. Sometimes it works to your advantage.
Yes.
And unfortunately, sometimes it don't. So we'll see here. She's gotten two pretty good swings. But Sandcoop trying to become a base runner. Fouls this one off. That better be careful. Means she's getting her measured.
Yeah, Higher is dealing, though. The first two pitches had a little heat behind them. And then comes with a little off speed on that third pitch to see if she could get her to be a little over anxious at the plate.
She's quietly pitched a fine game. Here's the next one. Up around the hands and it's fouled off. Nothing spectacular, just steady.
She has been
strike.
steady. She really has. Only given up 5 hits and kind of sparsed them out, parceled them out so they haven't been strung together.
Here's the pitch going outside. Put a little spin-o on that one as it goes wide of the zone. Coming up, following this game here on this diamond, Dar Danielson will have the call as we have Valley against Iowa City High. That should be a dandy. Here's the wind and the pitch. Inside. Whoa. Sandcoop quietly, after swinging wildly at the first two pitches, has worked her way back into the count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. North Scott hoping she reaches, because then you're at the top of the order. Here's the pitch. Oh, the rise ball was very tempting.
Tried to get her to go fishing and very composed. Sandcoop at the plate.
She almost did. The hands started to move forward. So here may be the pitch of the game from Sammy Higher. 3-2 count to Sandcoop, the pinch hitter, leading off the bottom of the 7th. Ground ball, fair ball. Down third base line, and a nice throw dug out of the dirt by Gabble very nicely as Cross heaved it across the diamond. And that was just basically about 6 inches away from being wide into the fence. But Gabble had the glove on it. So to the top of the order. Taylor Robertson, shortstop. Grounded to third, fly to center, and drew a walk. The pitch. Down low for a ball. North Scott needs the rally here. 2 to tie, 3 to win. We had that same situation in the last game where Carlisle had to tie it. Now here's a shot, base hit, out into right field, shallow right. And she hustled down the line is what I'm trying to say, because the right fielder Connell came charging, looking to throw to first to try to throw her out. It's unusual, but you do see a 9-3 putout on occasion.
Every once in a while you see that. If they're playing in shallow enough, the ball's hit out there hard enough, everything just has to be in place.
Connell and Litterer, right and left fielders respectively, have deepened up as we have Brooke Kilberg at the plate. Here might be the reason why. Kilberg lined to short her first time up, doubled to left, and then lined it right back at the pitcher. So she's put the ball in play with authority. The pitch is a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kilberg represents the tying run at the plate. Not time for the big fly just yet. Maybe. The pitch. Hard hit to short. It kind of died to throw to second. Just in time. Almost beating that throw was Robertson. As she's out 6-4. Kilberg reaches on the fielder's choice. And there's 2 gone.
Slow developing, slow roller out to short, and Chambers waited on it, almost waited too long. And it was a bang-bang play at second.
So Rachel Anderson steps in, the last hope at this juncture for North Scott. Here's the wind of the pitch. Line shot to the gap in center, off the center fielder's glove. It'll be down around third, motoring home. Scoring is Kilberg from first base. In at second with an RBI stand-up double, Rachel Anderson. That's one of those extra base hits. Fans during the Girls State Softball Tournament Our extra base hits brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Timely hit by Anderson. We'd mentioned she had just come up with a hit her last time up, and this time she got that ball in the right location, and credit Kilborg with his speed. She doesn't hesitate at third. They always say you don't run into the third out at home, but she was motor at home, beat the throw easily.
Oh, sending her all the way as soon as that ball was hit. Crack of the bat. She's moving because there's 2 outs.
Right. Make the other team make a perfect throw on the mark. So here we go. 1-run lead for Charles City with 2 outs. A runner at second, a tying run for North Scott. Sam Lee is to the plate. She singled her last time up. This one's looped in the air. Shortstop going back. Left fielder comes in and off her glove and throw to second. Not in time. Whoa, did that change a little bit? You're going to have to probably give an error to the left fielder. She glanced off at the last second as the ball reached her. And the ball had a little spin, so we are tied at 2-2.
Well, you had talked about how deep both left and right field were playing, and Litterer had to run a long way to be able to get to that ball, and it just glances off her glove. Again, runners going on the crack of the bat. They're not slowing down.
The advantage of having 2 out. With 1 out, that doesn't happen.
Right, yeah.
So here it's up to the pitcher, Ryan Cheek. She can win it. She's been hit by a pitch. Had a single to the alley. He grounds it to short, in the throw. We're going extra innings. We got to catch up to Dar. The first game went 8. We're going to go 8. In the inning, 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error, and 1 runner stranded. After 7 full innings of play, it is Charles City 2 and North Scott 2 headed for the 8th in a moment.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on.
They say our idea of fun is morning tea, and afternoon tea,
And anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say a storm like Iowa isn't in the center of the action. And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
Consecutive game that we hit the 8th inning marker on the scoreboard. So you fans that maybe are just joining us on the Girls Junior Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy, looking for Valley and Iowa City. It's coming, but be patient. We got to get through the 8th inning here. Charles City held a 2-0 lead in this game for most of it, but North Scott has rallied, and now we send it to the top of the 8th. Couple of balls well placed. Leading off should be Alec Cross, as the North Scott coach comes out questioning the lineup. I've got Cross as the leadoff hitter here. Oh, no, we have a substitution for North Scott as Kiki Connell moves from right to center. Not sure why she gave that lineup change, but she did. Here's the pitch. Swung on. 1 ball and 1 strike count. I like the way Dirk Sorensen makes sure that everybody knows the count. He's very visible with his hands, so that you cannot question things. Here's the next delivery. In the air, popped up, may not be playable. Near the dugout. Good quick swing that time. That ball had been just a half-inch lower. That might have been headed beyond the fence. 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors, Charles City. 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, North Scott. 1-2 count, leadoff batter in the eighth, looped out towards short center, and it's going to be in there for the base hit. As the center fielder couldn't quite get in there quick enough. To the plate now comes Alex Litterer. Grounded to short, drew a walk and got to third. That was the important insurance run that you alluded to back there, Laura, in the sixth inning, as they had loaded the bases with 2 out. Do we have a pinch hitter coming in here? Courtesy runner, pinch runner.
Runner's going to be Emma Grimm over there at first base.
Emma Grimm, number 13, in to run for Alex Litterer. Our substitution being brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Grimm must have a little more speed than Litterer. They're going to bunt. That's why they want the faster runner out there. Or she's running for cross, I'm sorry. As the first pitch to Litterer is a strike. He bunted this one in the air. Popped to Beadle at third. No chance for the play at first. To the plate now, Kiki Connell. Playing right field. Kiki has had a line like this. A walk and has got to third. She reached on an error, got to first. And she reached on a pass ball and got to second. Lines the shot off the hop to Beadle. The relay throw from Hayes to first, not in time. Fielder's choice for Kiki Connell. Out at second goes the runner Grimm, 5-4.
An inning that started out so promising with some good defense behind Lewis. She was able to get the 2 outs and not allowing a runner to advance.
And at the bottom part of the order, here's Sammy Heyer with a chance to help her cause. The pitcher, and she has done well, except for the seventh. I'm sure she'd like to have the seventh inning back. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Drew Lewis has been steady. Not overly impressive, so to speak, but just very steady, doing the job she was brought in to do, shut him down. She came in after the home run. Here's the pitch. And she strikes her out. In the top of the eighth, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. That's 9 runners left now by Charles City. As the bottom of the eighth looms, it'll be North Scott leading it off. Ashlyn Shannon. We're in a 2-2 tie, headed to the bottom of the eighth.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
All you have to do, you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and be. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
Back at Iowa Central Diamond, Harlan Rogers Sports Complex for Dodge. 2019 Girls State Softball 4A semifinals in the eighth inning, the bottom of the eighth. North Scott, the home team, as they are looking to get that one base runner that they need. Ashlyn Shannon, the designated player, leads it off. She has singled her first time up, but then strike out the last 2 times. 1 out rally by North Scott with 2 runs tied in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the next pitch called strike. Now keep in mind they did the same thing to Oskaloosa yesterday, coming up with a winning run in the bottom of the 8th. That's where the higher seed gets the advantage, if there is, of being the home team.
Get that last at bat, especially in extra inning ball games.
Here's the pitch, up high for a ball. One runner is all that Holly Holtling is looking for here. The coach of North Scott in with a record of 27-14. Charles City a little flashier at 36-3. The sign is given. The pitch comes in. And a ball. But that was right there in that borderline area. Both coaches would have been happy if the call had gone the other direction, which it could. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the delivery, and it's a full count now. It's too bad because Sammy Heyer has been cooking and smoking on the mound with her deliveries. Very steady performance, and she's in danger of putting the potential winning run on base with a walk. Let's see if she comes back with a strike. Here's a chopper to third. Nicely played by Cross. Across the diamond to Gable, and the out is made, 5-3. Abby Moeller steps in now. She's the number 7 hitter in the lineup. Moeller has fouled out to first, struck out swinging, and walked on 4 pitches in the 6th inning.
I'm looking at the Charles City schedule, and you look up and down it. They won 33 straight to start the season.
The pitch is popped up to third.
And you also look at some of the scores they had. They didn't give up a lot of runs. They were beating teams 16-0, 13-3, 14-1, 15. I mean, they're putting up a lot of runs. Not a whole lot of challenge to them.
Pressure situations.
And not a whole, but they're doing very well here in this very tight ball game, tied up 2-2, and so they have found that momentum and that mindset that you need to have when you're in a ball game like that. Now, they lost their last 3 coming into tournament play, very close games. One of them was to North Scott. They lost that ball game 6-5.
Here's a line shot foul down the line. So this is a rematch here.
A little bit of a rematch and a close one as well. I mean, same kind of thing, 6-5 in that ball game. So that shows you how evenly matched these two teams are.
And that shows you how a coach can build a schedule against some tougher opposition just prior to the tournaments to get you ready.
Yeah, and that's that's exactly what it looks like they have done.
Pitch goes high for a ball. 2 outs, nobody on here. Bottom of the 8th. Game is tied at 2-2 between North Scott and Charles City. Now we're going to go number 9. That's okay. It's not hot. We'll go that direction. And we'll be back for the top of the 9th inning as a 1-2-3 inning unfolded there for North Scott. Charles City coming to the bat on top of the 9th. We're tied at 2.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
I wanted a big university experience.
Without the big university price.
That's why I chose Iowa Central.
What makes Iowa Central so different than other community colleges is its size.
Big campus, lots of programs, athletics, and performing arts.
I live right here on campus.
And the teachers know me by name.
I'll be career ready in 2 years.
And all my credits transfer to a university.
It's a big time experience.
Without the big time price.
Come see for yourself.
The sun is slowly setting in the west. The lights are on here at the Iowa Central field, and we're going extra inning. This is not the first extra inning game. We had the one with Carlisle that got the walk-off 2-run shot that went a little bit long, and now we go to the 9th. Charles City and North Scott all tied up at 2, a rematch of a regular season game. Here's a little looper on the first pitch, fielded by the first baseman. Plate umpire Dirk Sorensen waited to make sure that the ball was solidly in the glove off the bat of Sadie Gable. So here we go. Elizabeth Pfizer, leadoff hitter. She looks at the first pitch for a strike. She bats with nobody on here in the ninth. She struck out swinging twice, then made the adjustments and grounded out twice to third base. Well, this will be her fifth time up, fifth time starting the order. Here's a chopper going that direction once again. No balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on here as we play extra innings to determine who's going to move on in the tournament to take on Carlisle in the championship game 4A. And they'll have a day to rest and recuperate. Here's the next pitch. Chopper to the left of the shortstop. Going to snake its way through out into short center field. And Elizabeth Pfizer, potential go-ahead run, is at first base with 1 out. That'll bring to the plate now Lydia Stout. And if you notice, Laura, she's been on base twice, 2 strikeouts and 2 hits, bunt singles. What else can I do? I'm trying to hurry it, Dar. Just call it a draw and send them both in.
That'd make for a lot of players on the field.
Each team would get their at-bat, see?
Okay.
And you just keep changing half inning. Here's the pitch, and the runner on the way to second, sliding. The ball bounced off the runner. There's a reason for wearing a helmet. Stolen base by Pfizer. A 3-1 walk key in the top of the 5th.
Coach Brian Bolin kind of rolling the dice a little bit, being aggressive, but we've seen him do it before in this ball game on the base paths. I like it. I like the aggressive move, getting that runner into scoring position.
So the pitch was a ball called to Lydia Stout. Rachel Chambers wants to get a chance to get to the batter's box and bring somebody home. Here's the bunt. Push to the pitcher. Only one play. The runner goes to third. That is Pfizer. So you give up the out, you advance the runner. Where anything, as we've alluded to 3 or 4 times, anything can happen from here. 2 gone, and Rachel Chambers has struck out, reached on the fielder's choice, sacrifice bunt. Her last trip was the single to shallow center field. Kilberg out in center, playing medium deep. Well, she was trying to give the go-ahead run the chance to come home as Chambers gave it a good cut on that first pitch, just over the pitch just a little bit. Iowa Central Field, this is the only field for the extra innings, right?
I guess, yeah.
I'm kidding. Here's the ball off the catcher's glove, and they're going to say foul ball. Whoa. North Scott with a break right there.
Yeah, and Pfizer was all over it, was not going to take anything for granted, was going to come home when she saw the ball get by the catcher Anderson.
So it's an 0-2 count. The go-ahead run at third. 2 outs, top of the 8th pitch. Strike 3 called. And it was right there at the knees on the inside corner. Unfortunately for Charles City, Chambers recognized it but too late. So in the inning, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 stranded. That's 10 left for Charles City. We have played 8.5 innings of play, and we are back where we started, basically tied. 2-2 ball game, headed to the bottom of the 9th.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
Watching the second consecutive extra inning game from Iowa Central Field. The other one, Carlisle, winning on a walk-off 2-run shot in the bottom of the 8th. Dar Danielson called that one for you. This is the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. Second straight game on this diamond, extra innings. Only Laura Leonard and myself, we're calling the ninth inning, the bottom of the ninth for North Scott. We thought Charles City got the runner on. Maybe they could get the runner home. They chose to sacrifice her to second. Here's a bunt, going to go foul. Close to bouncing up and hitting that bat. 0-2 the count. Number 9 hitter Kate Hayes leading it off. Taylor Robertson and Brooke Kilborg await. We had Waukee ahead. I made the note here. Waukee was leading in the bottom of the inning by a 3-1 score. Here's the ball popped over to the left. That was in the 5A game. 3-1 Waukee in the fifth. So they're going to finish their 5 o'clock game and start their 7 before we get out of this 5:30 one. 0-2 the count. Outside with a changeup, pulled the string, and it put on the air brake on its way to just missing off the outside corner. Taylor Robertson, the shortstop, waits on deck. Leadoff hitter here in the inning, Katie Hayes, trying to get on base. And she's going to. Hit by the pitch inside.
That one just got away from higher and bounced up and got Kate Hayes in the leg.
So Sammy Hire finds that North Scott gets the potential winning run to the first base and nobody out. So now I think we're going to probably see the ball being bunted here would be the strategy.
I would think so, yeah.
You give up 2 sacrifice bunts, or do you give up 1 and then try to hit away with the other 2 hitters? That's the question we're going to get here and answered. Holly Houghtonley. 1 runner at first. Here's the bunt. Popped up and caught in foul territory by the catcher Heff.
That's the last thing you wanted to have happen is the pop-up. Got to get that bunt down. You're throwing rise balls. You got to get on top of it to get it in the dirt.
That's a terrific play in a number of ways, as you pointed out earlier, Heft, with the good defensive effort behind the plate. That's a big out right there.
It's huge, huge out.
Brooke Kilborg is the batter. The first pitch from Sammy Hire is a strike called outside. Rachel Anderson, last time up, she doubled to right center. So she awaits. Kilberg becomes a very big batter here for Hire. Going outside with a pitch. That evens a count of the ball on the strike.
I want to go back to that Waukee Johnston game. You said they're in the what inning?
Fifth inning.
They started at 7. So that tells you how quickly that game is moving along. Yeah.
Here's the wind of the pitch. A strike at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, because the games don't start any earlier than the advertised times. Although the announcers are sometimes ready for it to start earlier.
Right.
This is a big batter right here. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball third. Bobbled by Cross. Throws first base not in time. And all of a sudden, the sunshine is breaking out of the clouds out west for North Scott. A fielding error. That ball just ate her up. You got a feel for her down there at third. That was a tough chance.
Yeah, it was a hot shot down there for Cross. It just rolled right up her arms. Couldn't field it cleanly to make the throw across.
So Rachel Anderson, with only 1 out, the center fielder Stott has moved about 4 steps to her left, almost in the spot where Anderson hit that double last inning. There's the pitch taken for a ball. At the top of the zone on that one. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Winning runs at second. Pitch in the air. Shallow right. Second baseman to her left. Hauls it in at Pfizer. Makes the grab for out number 2. Golden opportunity right here. And Sam Lee is up. Sam has put the ball in play 4 times here. Popped to short. Fouled out to first, singled to short, and reached on a error by the left fielder that bounced in front of her and got away from her. So here we go. 2 outs. Is it rally time for North Scott? The pitch goes outside and low. Ball 1. It will unfold. Should we go to the 10th, Charles City will have Ashley Heft, the number 4 hitter, their leadoff batter. Good battle here, the pitch. Swinging a ground ball through the gap out in between third and short. Here comes the runner home. The throw. Did she know? She did not get the tag on her. Give credit to the runner coming home, Brooke Kilborg, as she made a little dance step move and avoided the tag. And North Scott, for the second straight game, rallies to win it in extra innings by 1 run. 3-2, North Scott. Your keys to the game quickly, Laura, if you will, and we're going to summarize and move out of here.
I think, it was good defense all the way around. Both teams just played it close to the vest, took some chances on both sides, but came up with the key hit, North Scott did, to get that runner across. But what a great effort and a great throw from Litterer out in left field, I think is who it was, and Hafe just missed the tag at home plate. It's how close it was between going to the 10th and winning the ball game.
So it's a 2-out hit, just like the game preceding us, the 2-out home run. And Sammy Heyer, tough luck loser, the winning pitcher, is like yesterday. Drew Lewis, not spectacular. 3-1, Waukee in the lead in the 6th inning over there. So you give credit to Ashlyn Heft with a 2-run shot for Charles City to put them in the lead. And then it was up to North Scott. Comeback, and ironically, 1 extra inning, but last night's score, 3-2 in 8, if you like the numbers. Laura Leonard, been a pleasure. Thanks for your insight. I'm Lance Reno. We thank you for watching us, our production and engineering staff. We're going to turn it over to Dar Danielson. He'll have a 4A semifinal for you. So the matchup against, in the championship game, Carlisle and North Scott, and it was Alta Aurelia beating East Marshall in that championship semifinal in Class 2A. So that's going to do it from here. Thank you, everyone. Reminder that the championship games are going to be on Iowa Public Television, but there's still a couple of games to be played here, which you can watch on the Iowa Girls Union Digital Network, presented by Farm Bureau on the Mid-American Energy Championship Network. Thanks for your time this time. Till next time, so long.